Given that the definite integral from -1 to 3 of f of x dx is equal to -2, and the definite integral from -1 to 3 of g of x dx is equal to 5, what is the definite integral from -1 to 3 of 3f of x minus 2g of x dx? All right, so to think about this, what we could use is some of our integration properties. And so the first thing that I would want to do is we could split this up into two integrals. We know that and this is true of definite or indefinite integrals, that the integral of f of x plus or minus g of x dx is going to be equal to the integral of f of x dx plus or minus the integral of g of x dx. If this is a plus, this is going to be a plus. If this is a minus, this is going to be a minus. So we could split this up in the same way. So this is going to be equal to the definite integral from -1 to 3 of 3f of x dx minus the integral from -1 to 3 of 2g of x dx. Notice, all I did is I split it up. Taking the integral of the difference of these functions is the same thing as taking the difference of the integrals of those functions. Now the next thing we can do is we can take the scalars. We're multiplying the functions on the inside by these numbers, 3 and 2, and we can take those outside of the integral. And that comes straight out of the property that if I'm taking the integral of some constant times f of x dx, that is equal to the constant times the integral of f of x dx. And so I can rewrite this as, I can rewrite this first integral as 3 times the definite integral from -1 to 3 of f of x dx minus 2 times the definite integral from -1 to 3 of g of x. Actually, let me do the second one in a different color. Minus, so this is going to be magenta, minus 2 times the integral from -1 to 3 of g of x dx. And so what is this going to be equal to? Well, they tell us what this thing is here that I'm underlying in orange. The integral from -1 to 3 of f of x dx, they tell us that that is equal to -2. So that thing is -2. And likewise, this thing right over here, the definite integral from -1 to 3 of g of x dx, they give it right over here. It's equal to 5. So that's equal to 5. And so the whole thing is going to be 3 times -2, which is equal to -6 minus 2 times 5, minus 10, which is equal to -16. And we're done.